Okay, so I'm live again with Inspirobot over here. The AI that just learned off of some inspirational quotes like ahead of time and then learned how to generate its own inspirational quotes. Though given some of the quotes I've seen from this thing, I don't know if it exclusively learned off of inspirational quotes because every once in a while it would just like drop an F-bomb when you least expect it. So some of the quotes this thing has generated in the past really make me wonder exactly what might it have been trained on. So I'm gonna get the ball rolling by generating a few of these quotes with images, and then go into mindfulness mode for the rest of the stream. So I might just click around this button for like 5 minutes or so to get the ball rolling. So you really have to wonder exactly what this was trained on. If you challenge threats, you also challenge grown men. Rule number 12. You can't pretend to be like a real human. I also love how the actual images have nothing to do with the quotes themselves. Yeah, like the image and the quote usually have no relation to each other whatsoever. With sad explorers come sad longings. Technology begins where prostitution ends. Inspirobot exists to serve mankind. If you are being accused of copyright infringement, remember that what can go wrong will go wrong. Great fun ought to be nice. Wise is a student who controls his chin. Really putting emphasis on the word chin. Follow ridiculousness. That's basically what I'm doing with this stream here, by the way. Man up. Get popular. An annoying family member can be a hole from your future self. With amazing laughters come amazing lessons. Yeah, you can just pretty much go at this all day if you want. Yeah, this can literally just go on all day. I'm actually probably more or less going to stop making more of these quotes at 3 minutes and then just go into mindfulness mode. Does anyone forgive bankers? I've never asked myself that question. Safety. Us believing in the human spirit is what is causing the human spirit. There are times when one must call a personality a personality. We can't improve things by ignoring ourselves, but we can improve things by ridiculing ourselves. I don't know, sometimes Inspirobot does actually just hit the mark with these quotes, and sometimes, yeah, they get something totally random, or repressing somebody's dream is painful. And sometimes you get like complete failures of inspirational quotes. There are even a few times where like the quotes are like the exact opposite of inspirational, like for example, repeat this to yourself, my life is insignificant. Eat humans. Stay a pretty thing. Or we get things like this. Become a cannibal. Stay pretty. Did poor people conspire to trigger the golden age of television? And there's a picture of a cute little kitten to go along with this insightful question. Oh, you can actually get this printed on a face mask too? This is probably like without any sort of shipping costs included in taxes, so probably way more than 16 bucks. Okay, let's go into mindfulness mode. Turn on your speakers and press start to artificially intelligently generate infinite amounts of fullness for your empty human mind. That is also going to be read in a robotic voice as well. It just makes the ridiculous quotes that much funnier.
Live. It's never too late to destroy yourself.
Well, we're already off to one hell of a start.
Being a celebrity can be surprisingly similar to being stalker.
Already off to quite the start. I see.
Can't you see anything odd about a fully grown man being in love with misuse of power?
Well, no.
If you find it difficult to get into the right state, consider this very old saying, limited righteousness implodes limitedly.
Man being in love with abuse of power. Why do I feel like a lot of modern history and even pre-modern history was defined by that very concept?
Appreciate your mind listening. Being a wife can be a lot like being a prisoner.
Oh, damn.
Keep telling yourself that you are grateful.
Okay, just what I needed to do after hearing that previous quote.
We cannot change things by flirting on the internet, but we can change things by flexing. Pay attention to how your bodily orifices are relaxing.
You mean my ass in my mouth?
Hopefully not a long life.
Okay, where the hell did it pick up coprophilia?
Do you notice how your consciousness is melting together with the great nothingness?
No, I'm just wondering where this AI could have picked up coprophilia. Like, you really have to wonder exactly
Remember that a wise
where
man
it
once
gets...
said, after inspiration comes the amputation.
You really have to wonder where it even gets some of its vocabulary.
Be nice to computers.
What, are you hinting at the technological singularity or something? Be nice to computers, they're gonna take over the world?
Back in pre-colonial South America, there was a highly respected boy who was wandering around in the farmlands on a quest for a father figure, and encountered an old woman.
The feels, man.
Where can I find a father figure? He asked the woman. Immediately she answered him, a father figure is to be found in the kingdom of heaven. The boy thought long and hard about the woman's answer.
Then he killed himself.
A couple of days
he walked
later,
on.
He was whipping himself. The boy had a stroke of insight. Unwise is a man who masters his parts, but even lesser wise is a man who masters his face. And he was happy for the rest of his life.
Oh, so it did work out for him? Also a happy ending after all?
Remember
Wait, what?
to say to yourself, I am special.
I am special. Poor kid didn't have a father and was whipping himself.
Remember that. Bath salts are simply ambitions in a vacuum. Say to yourself repeatedly, existence matters.
Existence matters.
Relax your pineal gland.
I don't even know where that is. Is that in one of my shoulders or so? No, I don't think it would be in one of my shoulders. And not in the other two, so that would be a stupid place to put it.
Self-awareness is only the opposite of the ambiguity of time, dude.
Dude! Just throws dude on the end of that sentence, like, what the heck? Dude.
Observe how your sense of self and the air that surrounds you are one thing.
You really have to wonder what the training data set for this AI looks like. Just random interjections like, dude.
Keep your eyes shut. pastors deceive about what bullies swallow. Say to yourself, I am popular.
I am popular. Well, quite frankly, not that popular, but I guess I just have to delude myself into being popular.
Drop your pelvis.
Wait, how?
Say to yourself, I'm really, really metaphysical.
I'm really, really metaphysical. God damn it. Why do I have a hard time pronouncing words I shouldn't know how to pronounce?
Mediocrity begins inside craftsmanship.
I mean, it's not like I haven't seen the word metaphysical before.
Keep breathing. Do you notice how your muscles are observing the spatial dimensions? Accept that you are hurt.
Yeah, just accept all your miseries.
Regret is
Just
to
accept it. Just accept all of it.
Consider how human imagination is a reaction to the inherent constancy of entropy. The mortifying ordeals of being known may look simple, but they are not. The world wants you to feel cynical.
Oh my. Wants me to feel cynical? The entire world wants me to feel cynical.
To the transcendental.
That doesn't sound very inspiring at all. Like I said, like sometimes Inspirobot can just really miss the mark.
Feel the heaviness of your right hemisphere sinking into the floor. Example, not the version.
I say people keep fucking up again, but wouldn't be too likely to see that again.
Contemplate that high self-expression is everything that annoys.
Especially with that exact same background. Not gonna lie, this photo is still pretty creepy.
Lust can help you be happy with yourself.
Well, to be honest, I do enjoy my lust every once in a while.
Get in the way of what you appreciate. Keep in mind these wise old words of wisdom. Home office is an expression created to make certain people feel unusual. A long time ago lived a hideous boy who was trying to find the tree of life. That's when he came upon an attractive gorgon.
Attractive gorgon.
Where can a hideous boy like myself find the tree of life?
And then the boy was turned to stone in the end.
The gorgon immediately replied, Of the tree of life I do not know, for I am but a mere gorgon. The boy considered the gorgon's answer. Then he gave her a bush. Later in the evening, as he was cleaning his testicles, the boy finally understood what the gorgon had meant. Respected as the
I did not need to hear that!
Shortly
I did not need to picture the hideous boy cleaning his testicles. Oh, he did find the tree of life. Didn't need to hear the testicle part, though. Hideous boy. Yeah, I did the last one of these back in May of this year. And then the one before that, like May of last year. Like back in 2019.
Almost 10% of the country are
Oh.
Let yourself be guided by the ancient religious saying, a lot of people see the future as a fat camp. A highly respected monk once approached an unmarried beggar and asked her, "Tell me, my good beggar, how come you are so
My
wise,
good beggar.
you who were such an unmarried beggar?"
Such an unmarried beggar.
"I am not really an unmarried beggar," replied the beggar. The monk had never before heard such wisdom stated so clearly, and carried it with him for the rest of his life, and later in his life, he was never heard from again. Invert your mind backwards.
Excuse me.
Take a deep breath.
These sound randomized. Well, these are all generated by a robot that learned from, I don't know what exactly was in the training data set. It was probably just, it was definitely just like
Keep in mind
more
that you're miserable
sentences.
and remember to act like you feel happy.
Oh boy. Act like you feel happy, but you're deep down miserable.
I am capable. I am capable.
You have to wonder if just how many people out there, that's like the last thing they want to hear. Just pretend, like, make everyone around you think you're happy.
Do over it.
So yeah, there's more human language, obviously, in the training dataset, but you have to wonder exactly what's in said dataset. This learns off of the phrases in the training set, and eventually starts just generating more human language also.
A very spiritual guru once said, "Impressive goals grows impressively."
So basically learns from human language and then just outputs more human language based off what it learned.
Smile. It's never too late. Hide unintended hatred.
Yeah, especially in 2020, where people don't really take to hatred lightly at all.
Gullibility and self-imposed slavery go together like D and hypothermia. Think about these words of wisdom. With alternative fame comes alternative understanding. Through foreplay, we get laid.
That's perfectly on point there.
In ancient Japan, there was a fearless wanderer who lived at home with a dog.
Straightforward and simple, and yeah, factually correct too.
And said, "Pardon me, can you tell me where a soldier like myself can find a father figure?" The wanderer did not reply.
Oh, this soldier also didn't have a father? Or father figure?
"That is because I know that a soldier is a servant as much as a servant is a servant," replied the wanderer. After some thinking, the soldier decided to become a servant to the wanderer, and later the wanderer killed the princess, but that's a whole other story.
The princess that... yeah, that's another story. Kill the princess. What game is this?
Now come to notice your body.
This isn't a game. It's Inspirobot.
Keep on breathing.
Yeah, human language, but it's AI generated. Specifically, inspirational quotes. And inspirational wisdom and the like.
Begin to feel the heaviness of your body sinking into the floor.
So yeah, this bot was basically given human language,
Into the right state,
and was
think
also
about this
trained to
ancient
output
religious
more
wisdom.
human
The
language,
dream says thanks.
definitely leading towards more inspiring quotes, like things you'd see on a motivational poster.
Mindfulness is not to imagine, but to contextualize the uncontextualizable.
And then every once in a while, Inspirobot kind of just falls flat on its ass and says something like, "Remember, deep down you're miserable. Just try to act like you're happy."
Are younger challenges more exhaustive than other challenges? We cannot find new ways of inspiring ourselves, but we can find new ways of neglecting ourselves. Remember to tell yourself, life has a higher purpose.
Life has a higher purpose.
Loosen your gonad.
Just one gonad, or like both of them?
Contemplate this ancient Buddhist saying, new danger implodes newly. Remember to say to yourself, my life is fine.
My life is fine.
If you want casual sex, prepare for a face. If you really need to get healthy, love animals.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good place to start.
Keep breathing. Without awakening, there can be no quantum physics. Stay focused on your breath. Pay attention to how your bodily orifices are becoming one with your mind. Force your body to breathe. Understanding why you are stupid makes you wrong.
Okay, I guess you can force your body to breathe through your nose. I mean, that's possible, but
Tell
why?
yourself, my existence is good.
Yeah, at least that's possible, unlike feeling your right hemisphere sink to the floor. Or inverting your mind backwards. Don't stop tingling.
Free your small intestine. Keep focusing on your breath.
No, like, what Adam Tyner did was probably, like, way before this time.
After nothingness comes everything.
This is, like, after Adam Tyner's time. And yeah, the RSD games, that's pretty much, like, a whole other stream.
Keep repeating this to yourself. I'm really attractive to the opposite sex.
I'm really attractive to the opposite sex. I guess the first step is really getting yourself into that good mindset.
Contemplate this ancient wisdom. A cheese for a cheese, a fish for a fish. You seem to be the type of father who pushes their children to look happy. Stay focused on your breath. An ugly traveler once approached a crazy old lioness and asked her, how can it be that you are so beloved, you who are only a crazy old lioness? The reason for this
Oh.
I know that it's not really
Oh, these sounds
whether
again.
I am beloved or not, replied the lioness. The traveler had never before heard such wisdom as was articulated, and after he had thought long and hard about it, he became known as the most beloved traveler ever to have lived.
Yeah, the moans of pleasure in the saxophone. Should've known we were gonna hear some of this again.
Let's make governmental corruption collapse under its own weight.
Yeah, let's do it.
Keep in mind that you are enough. Keep on breathing and remember this ancient saying. People who obsess about biology connect negativity. Try not to think about the fact that claim contradictions and act hideous. Do your best.
Why does it sound like they're going at it even harder than it did the last couple streams I did of the Inspirobot Mindfulness mode? Sounds like these two are really going at it.
Repeat this to yourself. My living makes a difference. My living makes a difference. My living makes a difference. Your head is synchronized with everything around you.
Okay, I've never seen this photo before with all the cactuses and stuff.
Your consciousness is now connected to the spatial dimensions. Appreciate how your body is becoming one with your sphincter.
More noises.
Say to yourself repeatedly, being is real.
Being is real.
Failing at imagining is proof of dimness.
Oh.
Don't forget that you're imagining things, and don't forget to call 911. Sorry, no spanking for you.
Saying that as if you wanted the spanking.
Is it time to stop behaving? Become weak.
I'd rather not become weak.
Once a machine, always a machine. Allow your right hemisphere to rapidly drift.
Rapidly drift.
A presidency begins at the end of a boat.
And then sometimes you just get random metaphors like this.
You can be a doomed thing.
Just complete random sentences you wouldn't expect anyone to say in common speech. I mean, the word is a sentence and all, but still. What?! I didn't turn on Inspirobot to be told that now!
It's just the logical conclusion to the self-contradictory nature of quantum physics.
I didn't put on Inspirobot to be told that. I came to be uplifted.
Do not eat women. Women are in fact nice.
Do not eat women.
Repeat
Women
this
are in fact
mantra to
nice.
yourself. My life is pretty cool.
My life is pretty cool.
My life is pretty cool. it difficult to achieve the right state. Contemplate this ancient Buddhist saying, orgy ends when we learn to moisturize scare tactics.
I'll try just remember that for when I need to get in the right state.
Semen bread.
Something about an orgy.
There's a fine line between sense of humor and talent. Artificially talented. Keep your eyes shut. A fearless tracker once approached a widow and asked her, how come you are so great, you who are only a widow? The answer to that is because I do not see myself as a widow, replied the widow. The tracker had never before heard such wisdom put so plain, and took it to his heart and took it with him for the rest of his life.
Oh, hello
and a
there.
couple of years later, he died none
Volcanics.
the wiser.
So, yep, this is all AI generated, by the way. Everything you're seeing on screen. Well, specifically all the text
Notice
you're
the
seeing.
connection between you as an individual and your flesh.
Yeah, like that's all generated by a robot.
Repeat this to yourself. My life is lethal.
My life is lethal. My life is lethal.
Bend your eyelids backwards.
Every so often it tells you to do something that's outright impossible with your body.
Keep in mind that you're human.
Well, I never forget that I'm human. Not gonna lie, this is a pretty nice...
Rome, there was a brave man who had his home in the desert.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice photo, too.
Surprised him where he lived, and said, hello, my good man, where can I find insight? The man did not reply. Why do you act so friendly towards me? Asked the giant. I was not friendly, replied the man. The giant became afraid and refused to be a slave to the man, and they both realized their shortcomings and came to an agreement.
Giant was actually afraid of someone much smaller than him? Really?
Take a deep breath.
I'm like a whole 30 feet taller than you, but I'm still scared shitless of you. Yeah, that makes real sense.
Notice the connection between your attention and the self.
Unless maybe there was just like a large army of those little men, and it was like Lilliputian and Gulliver's Travels. If it was like the Lilliputians, then maybe I'd be more afraid. If it was just like me and like, I don't know, thousands of little men trying to kill me, then they could probably take me down.
Try to free your body.
Lilliput, whatever it was called. Well, I know the little guys were called Lilliputians or something. Don't even remember the pronunciation. I did remember reading the book like a long time ago.
Notice how the thoughts in your head are separated from nature.
Then later in the story, like, the main character ends up traveling somewhere where everyone's like at least 30 to 40 feet tall. And he's the little one.
More sympathy for Mars. Say to yourself repeatedly, I am great, I am great.
I mean, trying to teach a computer human language is no easy task.
Consider that a wise man once said, your sense of self is a byproduct of the complexity of time.
I mean, these are usually almost always all sentences, but sometimes they're just completely random, to the point where you'd never actually expect anyone to say said sentence.
Try to think about that a great thinker
Though it's technically correct.
War is complicated. Meditate on how enslaved is the Lord, for he shall cast his brother's altar. Keep repeating to yourself, life is purposeful. Life is purposeful.
I don't know, that one before kind of sounded like a Bible verse that got chewed up and spit back out.
Without the caption of absolutism, you cannot find glory. Your ovaries are now one with heaven.
Apparently I had both gonads and ovaries this stream.
Remember the ancient wisdom. You don't need $1 to make love to a stranger. Keep repeating this to yourself. Life is good. Life is good.
Life is good.
For every warrior, there's an abuser. Back in the Dark Ages, there was a young emperor whose home was the middle of the street. One day, a widower came to visit him.
A young emperor who lived in the middle of the street, so the emperor was homeless?
Find eternal life.
Yeah, it just hit me. A homeless emperor.
Why are you so good towards me? Asked the widower. That is because I want you as an ally. An ally? Asked the widower. Yes, an ally, replied the emperor. The widower then understood what the emperor meant, and became like an ally to the emperor, and when he later died, the emperor was great the most, was declared to be emperor there ever was.
The emperor was great the most was declared to be an emperor there ever was. I said most of the time they are proper sentences. Like, most of the time they're good sentences.
Stay focused on your breath. Remember that a great thinker said, government building is an expression created to intimidate people. You as a human being are separated from the earth.
I don't see myself as separated from the earth, personally.
Remember how the ancient ones said, getting objectified can be mad. Live for the moment. Pay someone. Pay attention to how the voices in your head are synchronized with nature. Notice the connection between your sense of being in the spatial dimensions.
So it's just assuming I have voices in my head. How bold are you? I mean, like,
meditate on this
I typically
insight.
don't.
You cannot have the intercourse without the women and children. A humble hermit once
What? And the children too?
You are so revered. You who are but a beautiful lady. Oh, the reason for that is that I make sure that every individual I am introduced to feels revered too, replied the lady. The hermit had never before heard such words spoken, and remembered it for the rest of his life. And later in his life, he hung himself. If you find it difficult to achieve the right state, contemplate this ancient folk wisdom. Long live the dumb, for they might someday own the future. Keep in mind that a great master once said, reality is simply the natural extension of the unavoidable entropy of death. And that's how it is. beautiful hermit once approached a crazy
Another
old widow and
hermit.
asked her, "How come you are so beloved, you who are such a crazy old widow?" The answer to that is because I always keep in mind that wise is a husband who saves his chin, though unwise is a husband who saves his face, replied the widow. The hermit had never before heard such wisdom spoken, and took it to his heart and remembered it for the rest of his life, and a couple of years later, he died and realized he had been living a lie. Extend your body all the way down your heart.
Right.
Keep chanting this mantra. Being is temporary.
Being is temporary.
Being is temporary. By self-stimulating you can become high. Ignore the connection between your pineal gland and time itself.
Okay, now I see we're out in outer space.
Want to be seen.
That's pretty good advice. Not gonna lie, that's good.
A poem from the Dark Ages tells the legend of a humble carpenter who was living in the middle of town. One day, a wanderer came to where he lived, and said, "Good evening, kind carpenter, where can a wanderer like myself find a fish?" The carpenter laughed and replied, "Do come in, for a fish can be found here in my home." "A fish here in the middle of town?" asked the wanderer, and the carpenter
He's keeping him as a pet.
"Why do you behave in such a manner?" asked the wanderer. "That is because I want you as a servant," replied the carpenter. After some thinking, the wanderer decided to become a servant to the carpenter, and they both lived happily ever after.
So, what about the fish?
Cognition is a metaphysical perception of the hyper-contradictions of the impossible.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't understand that.
Repeat this to yourself. My living is insignificant.
My living is insignificant. My living is... Oh, here we go again. There we go again.
Inhale. And exhale. Ignore the fact that you're stored up. She is letting go of what you had for dinner last night.
Yeah, I'm gonna wallow in how insignificant my life is and go and listen to some really depressing black metal.
Aim yourself upon your feelings. If you say what you mean, be free.
No, really, if you do see yourself like that, then I'm sorry to hear that.
I am fine. I am fine.
I'm fine, I'm fine.
Take a deep breath.
Like, if you legit are really depressed, then I am sorry to hear it.
And out. Keep in mind that virtuous is he that passeth with his angel owner. Force your body to straighten your spine.
So, in other words, just sit up straight and don't slouch.
Public servants suppress guns. Keep breathing.
Oh, is that a tornado in the background?
Harry does.
What? What did I just read?
Allow your mind to exhale.
My mind to exhale.
Keep focusing on your breath and think about this very old wisdom. Your congressman should be unethical. Don't hide your ego.
Just let everyone know that it's all about you.
Repeat this mantra to yourself. My being is fine.
My being is fine.
A vampire will always be a vampire. Now you know.
Now I know. Oh, I only know now that a vampire is always going to be a vampire. Oh, okay. Okay.
Extend your sphincter against your nose.
Someone tell me what a sphincter is.
Take a deep breath. Chant this mantra to yourself. My living is pretty cool.
My living is pretty cool. Didn't I say that to myself already?
Do you notice how your awareness is dissolving the air that surrounds you? Back in ancient Egypt, there was the simple-minded cobbler who was trying to acquire water when he ran into an unmarried widow. Where can I find water? He asked the widow. Immediately she answered him, what you are looking for cannot be in the mountains. Search in the kingdom of heaven. The cobbler thought long and hard.
Have to go to heaven just for some simple water?
The following day, while he was punishing his wife, the cobbler understood. Lawful is the student who shares his buttocks, but moral is the student who shares his face.
The student who shares his buttocks? In what sense does he share his buttocks? Just showing his ass to everyone? Or actually letting them insert
the mantra,
things into it?
My soul is bangable.
Share his buttocks in what context? Just showing it to everyone?
Inhale. And exhale.
Yeah, there was a kid in my year in high school who got suspended for like a couple days for actually doing that to some girls, showing his ass.
Feel how your skin is connecting to your soul.
Like, I'm still wondering why you'd even do that. This was over 10 years ago, and I still can't imagine why you'd do something like that.
The world around you.
Like, I don't think any of you want to see my ass, so I'm not gonna do that.
Take a deep breath. In.
And out.
Stay focused on your breath. Breathe deeply. Aim to open your belly button.
Well, I don't know how I can open it any more than it already is.
No one should ever have to tell you that you're feeling sinister. Don't become a slave to your heart. questions. Remember to tell yourself, my being has meaning.
Oh yeah, I like this photo too, by the way. I mean, some of these are just... Oh wow.
Knowing that you are a master makes you realistic.
Oh wow. And that quote to go along with it too. That nice ass. Oh! I mean, I know a nice ass when I see one. Hadn't seen that photo before.
Now before the rumors comes death. Feel your left nostril becoming one with your sphincter.
What the hell is a sphincter? I'm gonna have to go just look up the definition after the stream's over. I kinda wanna know what that is.
Force yourself to straighten your ass.
Straighten my ass? In what sense? Literally
Focus
speaking?
on your ovaries. Remember the ancient wisdom. You don't need $1 to make love to a stranger.
We already saw this! I already saw that quote earlier in the stream.
Keep repeating this.
I think it might have been literally word for word too.
Life is good.
Yeah, unlikely we're gonna get the same quote twice in one stream. Word for word too.
There's an abuser.
Another one! I've seen that one too!
Chant this mantra to yourself. My mind is empty.
My mind is empty. My mind is empty.
Focus on your breathing.
I don't know, these moments get me every time. Oh, wow!
Surrender to sarcasm.
I feel like I'm kind of treading on thin ice right now. That photo. Kind of treading on thin ice there.
Forget the fact that our sugar intake is other people.
Yeah, I don't think we have much else to lose.
When spouses shit, followers eat.
Okay, they better not be eating the shit.
If you will not say what you mean, someone else will.
Lotion,
Really need
a
to
pretty
create
hand,
something impossible,
and more
be
moans.
ready to
Yeah,
act
I saw these coming.
If one expects a diamond, one has to prepare for singing.
Oh, the hot dog.
Take a deep breath. In. And out.
Oh no, did they redo a bunch of those sounds
Atmosphere to meditate
since, like, last May? Because it just sounds more erotic than it used to. Sounds a little bit more erotic
Force
now.
your body to focus only on your breath.
Okay, it said something slightly different. About the breathing. I don't mind, okay.
Focus on how your attention is disconnected from the walls around you.
Walls around me.
Keep repeating to yourself, being has a higher purpose, being has a higher purpose, being has a higher purpose.
Here we go again.
Pay attention to how your bodily orifices and the temporal dimensions are one.
Okay, if there's any time you're gonna start talking about orifices, let it be when these pictures and these sound effects are on, like, both on screen and both, like, you're hearing them.
Take a deep breath.
And when it sounds like people are going at it, that's definitely the better time to bring up your orifices.
Notice the connection between your body and the world around you.
I don't know, Inspirobot's feeling more horny than usual right now.
Keep repeating yourself. Existence is special. Existence is special. Existence is special.
No, I'm personally not into robots, though, and even if I were... Actually, what am I saying? How would you do it with a robot, personally, anyways? Like, how would that even work?
Try to focus on how your spine is energized by planet Earth. Your brain is now reacting relatively to the cosmos.
Yeah, I did actually recently find a fanfiction, though, where some female characters get raped by robots, and eventually they just end up enjoying it.
Once a hairdresser, always a hairdresser.
I mean, I didn't read through the whole thing. I mean, I'm not exactly into that. Just kind of got, like, the main idea. And that's just, like, one chapter of said fanfic as well.
A fair seamstress and asked her how come you were so appreciated, you who were such a young and fair seamstress. Why? That is because I don't see myself as a young and fair seamstress any more than I see myself as a hunter, replied the seamstress. The prince had never before heard such words.
Okay, let's see if I'm actually still
and took
alive.
it with him for the rest of his life, and later in his life, he died and went to heaven.
Yeah, I'm still alive, okay.
Don't you think that human souls can turn into romance if you go through with the surgery?
Yes.
Make the beyond not laughter. Long ago, in ancient Mesopotamia, there was a humble warrior who lived in the mountains. One day, a gnome visited him where he lived, and said, "Greetings, kind warrior. Can you tell me where a gnome like myself can find a vision?" The warrior kept quiet. "Why do you behave in such a manner?" asked the gnome. "That is because I want you as a threat," replied the warrior. The gnome became offended and refused to be a threat to the warrior, and there was much rejoice.
I refuse to be a threat.
Long ago, in China during the Ming Dynasty, there was a young wild man who was trying to acquire good hashish, and encountered an old man. "Can you please tell me where to find good hashish?" he asked the Gorgon.
He's talking to a mythical creature to acquire some hash. Some
"Go
drugs.
play with yourself," replied the Gorgon. The wild man became confused by the Gorgon's answer, and he offered her to know her. Later that day, as he was sacrificing his lawn, the wild man understood. Sinful is the man who knows his urine, but more sinful is the man who knows his madness. And became very much great, and was also great long after his death.
So did they find those drugs or not? Not just hashish, good hashish.
Notice the sensation of how your bodily orifices are starting to tingle. Keep focusing on your breath.
Alright, what's the story of, I don't know, the Gorgon who was looking to attain some peyote?
Are more recent bodily fluids supposed to control vintage bodily fluids?
I don't know.
Feel your head swallowing up your pelvis. Contemplate this wise old proverb. You don't need to have magic in order to control the masses.
Yeah, like no emperor or dictator needed magic. Totally.
In and out.
Yeah, Hitler, Stalin, Zedong, and just pretty much any other dictator or emperor in history, they didn't need
Ignore the
magic.
connection between your fear of death and humanity itself.
Not just limited to like ruthless dictators, but even like good rulers as well. They never need magic.
Are a part of the universe. A hermaphrodite doesn't always think that he's a hermaphrodite.
The more you know.
Collaborate with your own face. Jeopardize confusions and act innovative.
I'm probably going to end the stream soon, so I can just go and take print screens of some of the more like WTF inspirational quotes we got.
Remember to tell yourself, I am very deep.
I am very deep. Yeah, I want to go take some screenshots of these as soon as possible.
Entertain the idea these words of wisdom. Between a boy and a dollar is morning dew.
Intercourse isn't complete without the women and the children.
The self is of course a reaction to the wave functions of the infinite. Reduce things you don't understand. Despise the secrecy of the message. Notice how the thoughts in your head are reacting relatively to your skin. Keep your eyes closed. Continue breathing. Appreciate your skin melting together with your belly button.
Yeah, I think if that happens, then you just won't have a belly button after that.
A greedy fiddler once approached a crooked old Gorgon and asked her, how come you are so great, you who are such a crooked old Gorgon? Why? That is
how many Gorgons have we even seen this stream?
I am introduced to feels great to reply.
Yeah, at least 3 stories have Gorgons in them this stream.
The fiddler became sure that the Gorgon disrespected him, and took it to his heart and remembered it for the rest of his life. A couple of years later, he died unhappy. Open your heart.
Might just end with more quotes not from mindfulness mode,
doesn't mean you are a man.
and then just cap off the stream.
Breathe in
And out.
and out. Stay focused on your breath. Keep breathing.
Oh, this is a really nice photo of some rain. Like, I don't know how some of these come out so well done.
Feel how your sphincter is starting to drop.
I'm really gonna have to go look up what that is.
Once special, always special. Try to breathe with your nose.
I mean, that's not impossible.
achieves in the bigger scheme of things. Crushing love incites anxiety. Mindfulness. Stay focused on your breath. Think about how your belly and the universe are two sides of the same coin. What does a shit show, kick and a cell phone have in common? Sunshine.
I don't think those... I can't imagine those three things having anything in common.
Can be a lot similar to going full retard. Remember to tell yourself, I'm so not mediocre.
I'm so not mediocre. Also, where exactly did this thing pick up the word retard?
Is there a possibility that delicacies are the way they are because that's how God made them? Your ego is dissolving the ether. In every lover, there's a social justice warrior.
Every single lover.
You are comparable to the rest of the population. Do not forget that what it all comes down to is that it's all about sacrifices. You are an adult ape. That's right.
Okay. Okay, that's not the first time I've been called an ape by this thing. I guess it didn't feel like calling me an ape last year was enough.
Your ego and humanity itself are perpetually linked.
Yeah, fast forward a year and a half and this thing is still calling me an ape.
There's a proven link between entertainment and charity. Focus on your breath. Repeat this mantra to yourself. Please be gone.
Please be gone, thought.
Here.
You don't
Please
belong.
Be gone, thought.
Please be gone, thought. You don't belong here. Be gone, thought. The sequel.
Aim your gut onto your spirit. Repeat this to yourself. I am very kind.
I am very kind. I am very kind.
Repeat this to yourself. My mind is perfect.
My mind is perfect. I'm probably gonna call it a stream soon at this point.
Forget. It's never too late.
Never too late to forget.
Keep your eyes shut.
What are these quotes gonna be like? I didn't see this photo before. Pretty sure I didn't see this one yet. This one I remember, though.
Focus on your breathing.
Yeah, I think this might have been the one where I was called an ape.
Now is the time to seek freedom of speech.
Only now? And not before?
Reality is merely the crosspoint between between the flawed nature of the impossible and the divinity of eternity.
If I get to hear more noises
That's
of
how
two
it
people
works.
going at it, then I'll let the stream go on for a bit longer. I guess until this stops.
Dancing skills is usually followed by pretentiousness. If you are afraid of pleasure, you do not know what pleasure means to society as a whole.
Wow. So I might just generate a few of these non-mindfulness mode inspirational quotes with accompanying photos and then just call it a stream at that point. See if any good ones show up, just to wrap up the stream. How can we live through chaos? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, given like 2020 in a nutshell, that actually hits pretty close to home for some people. Some even more so than others. How do you live through chaos? Our entire concept of being is incorrect. Bath salts are evil. No pride, no stupidity. No self-flagellation. No acceptance amongst peers. Time is anything but a struggle. Appear amusing and hope. A person who dreams about to hurt someone dreams about... Does that say food? Or something different? Or fools? No, I think it's probably fools. That's the lowercase d up there. So it's probably not food. A coin lying on the street can be a sign from God telling you that existence itself is predetermined. Smart musicians fondle what average musicians lose. You should probably worry about stupidity. Probably should worry. Why shouldn't you make friends blow up the world? Don't stop being you and always be sinister. All people must agree with everyone, why not you? If you need a happy life, you must know how to be human. By instating universal basic income, we can make it so that policemen feel stupid. When you're on the front page of all the newspapers, don't forget to carry a big stick. Well, I guess it depends on what you're on front of the newspaper for. And then again, like, you'll be probably famous no matter what, so I guess maybe that stick is to just, I don't know, beat off anyone who tries to attack you. I don't know, maybe you're gonna get some deranged lunatics trying to just attack you for whatever reason. And that's why the big stick would be there. Our bodies end when we learn to talk about computer systems. Bleeding. Do you remember what life used to be like before the sun? If you can build a bridge out of her, you can steal her. Okay, that's it for the stream. Thanks for dropping by, whoever did.